everybody, this is Lisa at Southern Yankee Crafty Creations, and today I am going to show you how to make a new summer wreath. And I had purchased this black and white poly burlap mesh from Mel's Crafty Mojo out of Machesney Park, Illinois. I'm going to use that. I liked it. I thought it was really pretty. I like buffalo check a lot, so black and white is really, something I love. I also am going to be using this color red, this poly burlap red. I actually bought this. I've had this for probably about a year, and I got this from Craft Outlet. I will go ahead and I will put both of these at the end of the video. And what I'm using is I'm using a 12-inch wreath frame. I wanted this to be pretty big, and it actually comes to be from tip to tip with the 18 of the black and white basic petals that I've already put on this form. It comes to 23 inches in diameter, which is a decent sized wreath. And you can still fit it in a 20 by 20 by 4 inch box if you ship it out. All you'll do is you'll just kind of like curl under the ends and then just make directions that when the client receives it, that they just kind of fluff them up a little bit. So we have the 12-inch wreath frame. I put our number 5 plastic mesh, which means there's 5 squares per inch, in the center. And we know how we do that by laying our wreath form on top of the plastic canvas mesh, and we just outline on the inner bar that we have here, and then we cut it out and we just attach it with zip ties. So that's how we do that, and you've seen me do that in other videos. I have put in 18 of the black and white poly burlap mesh. There is, on each crossbar, I have a petal, and then I have 2 in between, which gives us a total of 18 because there's 6 sections on this 12-inch and 2 in between, and 1 on each crossbar is a total of 18. I am going to go and I am going to cut a total of, so that's 18 for there. I'm going to cut 9 and 9 each of this, and then I'm going to cut probably another 10 for just the center that I'm going to use the red. And then from there, we'll see how it looks if I'm going to have to do a 4th row before we do our center. So I will be right back. I'm going to pull out my glass cutting board, and I will show you how to use a wood burner in order to cut your mesh. Okay, we are back. I have my regular cutting mat with my glass cutting board on top of that. I purchased both of these through Amazon, and I can leave the links at the bottom of this video as well. Here is my, I have a, I hope you can see this. It is like a chiseled end for a wood burner, and I purchased this through Amazon, but you can get them at Hobby Lobby, you can get them at Walmart, and they're about $12 to $13. When you are using these, make sure you're in a well-ventilated room because fumes do come off of these as you're burning your material. And on my any new roll that I get, I always make sure I go through each of the squares and make sure I have a clean edge all the time. So make sure you do that as well. And I'll just throw that away. We have all these little ones. We're going to move this off to the side. And then we're going to cut these by, let me get this little fray here. I don't really like it. And be careful when you use the wood burner because it's really, okay, I'm going to make another clean line here. I don't like the way that looks. I'm very particular about that. Okay, put all this extra stuff off to the side. I'll clean that up later. Okay, I have on my mat, as you can see through the glass, I have made a mark on my 20 and my 10 inches. And what I do is I use that as a guide. So if I'm going to cut each one of my pieces for my flower wreaths, I cut them at 10 inches wide. We already have our finished sides on the top and bottom, and that means they're 10 inches width exactly, and we're going to make them 10 inches long. So I'm going to go and I'm going to cut 9 red, and then I'm going to cut 9 of the black and white that I'm going to use on the 2nd row, which is going to be on our 3rd bar down. On the wreath frames, no matter what size they are, now depending on if you have a 6 or an 8, I never use the first outside bar. I always only use the second bar. Now, if you do have smaller frames, I think they only have 3 bars that go or 3 rings that go around. You know, so you can always start on the second one, and then you might have a third one, and then you just start working in the middle of the canvas. The canvas is to put all your extra petals that you need, and also to be able to apply and attach your centers that you have, no matter what you make them with. So just going in between again. And as we cut this, this is actually making it an even, I don't know if you can see this very well, makes it a clean little edge that you have here. And it's, you know, it gives it where it seals it. Now sometimes I've noticed, depending on, you know, wherever the manufacturer is for the mesh, sometimes there might be some really rough spots in the middle of it, or there's even rolls that I've gotten where they stop and then they start again. So if there's a bad spot in it, I just get rid of it, cut it out, and then go forth from there. So I'm going to continue cutting out the red, and then I'll show you a few pieces on the black and white. I'll put this to the side. Here's my black and white, and this is really thick stuff with it having the substance of it is really, really thick. I like it a lot. So I'm going to put this on my 30 mark again, and I'm going to do it at 10 inches. Now we're just going in between the center of the rows that you have. Like I said, I'm going to need 9 and 9 for my second row, which is going to be put on our third bar, because I have 18 on the first row. I'm figuring I'm going to have to need 18 for my second row. And then usually I'm always probably using about 10 for the third, and depending on how big the frame that you're using depends on how many more petals that you need. So I'm just going in between this again. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna finish cutting all of my material, and then we'll be back to start on the second row. So we are back, and I have got all the material cut. So we're gonna start off, I'm gonna show you how to do the basic petal again. Curl side up, you have your finished edge on the top and bottom. I'm gonna take my corners and I'm gonna bring them in. Now when I put them together, it kind of looks like it's a little square in the middle here. I don't know if you could see it. And you can always turn it sideways to make sure that it's even. And then you're just gonna gather it from one side, gather it from the other side, pinch it directly in the middle. You're gonna flip it. It's gonna look like a little bow tie here. And then I lay this part down, I take the second petal here and I bring it across. Now what you wanna make sure is that these petals are the same length, and when you're laying down, these aren't, so then you just kind of adjust where your pinched down at the middle is, and you squeeze this little nub here. And then what I do is, if you want to, I got these little rubber bands that I get from Dollar Tree or Dollar General, and they're 500 in a little box or a bag, and I make my little petals, and I have them all here. So I'm going to do that one more time for you. Basic petal, curl side up, finished on top and bottom. You're going to take your corners. Now here, always remember, left hand side is where my tattoo is. And also make sure when you're doing this that your finished edge is always going in the same direction on all your petals, whether it's a basic petal or it's any other petal that you do. So I'm gathering, I'm pinching in the middle, I'm flipping it, putting it down, and then I'm taking this other left hand side and I am crossing it over and making sure that they are the same length. I'm pinching it in the middle, and I'm gonna put my rubber band, if I can only get one of them. It doesn't matter the color of the rubber bands, because you're gonna end up not seeing them anyway. If you ever have anything like, see this little fray here, you probably can't see it. I just take my scissors and I just flip it and you're good to go. All right, so what I'm gonna do here is our first row we've already done. And we said, once again, we'll go over this. It was a 12-inch wreath frame that has 6 sections, and each section between where the crossbar is, I put 2 of the basic petals in the black and white. Then on each crossbar, I put 1 petal of the basic petal in the black and white. So what I'm going to do now is I cut 9, I have 18 on the first row, which is on the second bar that we started. On the third bar in, I'm going to alternate with the red and the black and white. So in between each of these sections here, you're just going to put a petal in. So I've already put a red in here, so the next one is going to go underneath the bar, pull it up. And also another thing I like is that when you put your zip ties in, make sure they're going in the same direction too, because that'll kind of help to where your petals aren't going to go, what's a good name for it? Wonky is a good name, I've heard people say. So I'm going to pull it really tight. Now either you can snip as you're going along, and I take the little nubby thing of the end of the zip tie and I just kind of push it down to the side. Now make sure as you're putting each one of these down, and I'm going in the direction like on the right hand side here, because here's my left, here's where the finished edge is. So I am going in this direction counterclockwise to make sure that my finished edge is going to go over the previous petal. So I'm going to do a few more for you. And you know, you could have done this in different, you could have done white and red on this. Depends on what your choice is, and you can use the same pattern with any other color you want. Let me grab this real quick. I'm putting it in between, and I kind of go down with the little end, they call it the nub, to where it kind of comes to the next level of the next row, the beginning of the next bar. Push this down a little bit further because you want it to be able to hold in really tight. So there's the next red one, and the finished side is going over. And I like the longer zip ties because my fingers have a hard time sometimes with holding on to them all the time. So I'm just going in between, putting them down, pulling it tight, and just laying them down over the next one. So we're going to do another red one. So on this second row, we're going to have a total of, here, I'm going to have to use my little needle nose pliers to get these through. We're going to use a total of 18, which on this one I'm going to do 9 of the black and white, and then 9 of the red. And then on the third row, which will be down in the canvas, I'm going to do red, and I may do another row of red. I haven't decided yet. It's called We Are Designing as We're Going. You can take the zip ties and you can move them, like I said, cut them. If you want to, you can put all your zip ties in so they're all together. Make sure they're going in the right direction. Let me flip this one over. I'll take another black and white. I hope everybody's having a good day. Today is actually the Saturday before Easter. And it was sunny yesterday, and we were outside working in the yard, picking up all the wonderful limbs. Oh my gosh, we have so many trees on the 2.5 acres that we have here. And I swear with all this wind we've been getting in Kentucky, I live about, Jamestown is about 40 miles from the Tennessee border. If you, I always say on the map, if you take the eastern line for Indiana and go straight down, that's where Jamestown is. It shows on the map. We're near the Cumberland Lakes. Everybody comes to vacation here all the time, and my mom and dad live here, and we moved down here to be with them. My dad got sick back in 2015 with lung cancer. Never smoked a day in his life, but came down here to be closer to them because my mom will be 80 in May, and my dad just turned 84. Let's see if I can get this a little tighter. Move this over. Anyway, I think this is looking really pretty. And then if we do a whole entire red row on the next row, I think that'd be pretty. And I'm thinking possibly maybe black in the center. I do have a black and red plaid, but I don't know how that would look, so we'll have to see. We're just going to design as we go and figure it out as we go. And then I just want you guys to see exactly how to make something, you know, how to do a basic petal. And also, you guys, this is on YouTube channel for Southern Yankee Crafty Creations, but I have a Facebook business page. It's Southern Yankee Crafty Creations by Lisa. I also have my regular Facebook page for Lisa Orton, but I also have a Facebook group. You know, I would love you guys to join all of those. And then give me some ideas of what kind of tutorials you would like me to do. Also, I'd like to learn from everybody else on how to do like the different floral flowers and stuff like that, because I really haven't done a lot of those myself. And I'd really like to learn. So I'd be happy if somebody else could do a tutorial or maybe pipe in on how they do it, maybe pictures of step by step. That would be really great, because we all need to like support each other and help each other along. Follow each other on Facebook, or if you have a YouTube or Instagram or Pinterest. You know, we just need to support each other because we're all crafters and we're all trying to do the same thing. This is a hobby of mine. I have a full-time job as a payroll billing person. And I started doing this about a year ago by watching YouTube videos from Julie from Julie's Wreath Boutique, and really loved it. And I find it very relaxing, and I like creating things. I mean, my mom is a very creative woman. She can make anything. She makes floral arrangements. She paints pictures. I mean, she's just really talented. And I find this very soothing. And I also started making a few wooden items, like snowmen, or just, my husband's a painter. I started using paint sticks, 5-gallon paint sticks, to make certain things. And if you look on my site, I'm going to post them as well, and that you can see everything. Anything I see, can I make that? You know, we just gotta put our minds to it, and it's a challenge, but we can do anything that we put our minds to. You know, I was thinking with this color, I love buffalo plaid, black and white, but black and white goes with so many colors. You can use turquoise. I made a turquoise black and white buffalo plaid with a turquoise wreath for my daughter, because those are her colors, and she really loved it a lot. And you could just do so many things with different colors, but this red, you could actually use it for Valentine's Day, or you can even use it for Christmas. I mean, you know, there's a lot of different things you can do. And I know I'm just talking as I'm doing all this, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish up putting these all on. And like I said, the first row was a total of 18 of the black and white. And this will be a total of 18 petals as well, because you're going to individual of the top row that you have. And I'm alternating. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and then I'll be back for our third row. Okay, I went ahead and I have finished cutting more material than I needed for the third row, which is actually, I had gone down about 2 inches into the canvas here. And here's a trick that I'll let you know too, just to make sure that I've always got my stuff pretty even. Sometimes I'll lay something that will give me a circle, like once I start this, then I just take a marker, go around it, so I know that I can see that marker through the other side, and it helps me then place all of my zip ties then and my petals. So I've got a total of 14 on this one. Same thing again, we have top and bottom is our finished sides. We're still just doing the basic petal, scrunching it in the middle, flipping it, and we're going to bring over the left petal over to the right. And I put in my zip ties already, so it kind of helped a little bit here. And I'm trying not to push down on the petals when I'm putting them in, but you can always, you know, like I said, play with them a little bit. And don't forget, I'm going to be spraying this. I'll do one coat, let it dry completely, then I will spray a second coat, and then I will flip it after it dries completely. I even do a spray coat the back side of all of my wreaths as well, even though I put the felt on the back of them. So okay, I'm going to finish up with another 2 more, and we're going to need a 4th row in the middle, unless you want to make a large center, which you could use something like, I'm not saying not this kind of, you want to, but what you're trying to do is in your center, you want to make sure that you are covering the zip ties from the previous one. I don't have anything that large right now, so I'm going to be putting another row in, but it's up to you. You could stop at this point if you wanted to and put in larger centers, which I'll show you another one when I get done here. Whoops, and I just pulled out my zip tie. Well, that wasn't smart, was it? Okay, put that down in here. Oops. Put it up in there. Okay, one more red. I'll make our little square. That's just a little trick that I have, so I know if it's going to be even or not. Pinch down, pop it in. Zip ties don't want to work today. You ever have problems with your hands? I know I do every now and then. And I do accounting. Now, your last petal here, you want to make sure that you lift it up. Take your previous one. Make sure you get both of them. And you want to put all the unfinished where you have the finished sides laying over it. And then you can adjust your petals ever so gently as you're going through them. Let me snip this off. And another thing I do is that I always push all the little sides over. You can push them with your finger. You can push them with the needle nose pliers, which I like doing too. And push them over. So then I wanted something different. This is a basic petal. And if you look how thick it makes this. Can you see that? I don't think, let's see if I can pull this up a little bit. Can you see how thick that is? And I'll do another picture at the end. It makes it very full. And you can always, like, you know, lift your petals up to fluff them up. Constantly, you know, play with them. Not just adjust them to where they're going to be uneven all the way around. These look like they're not even here, but I can mess with it later. Okay, so let me adjust this again. So, like I said, let me find that one center that I have. And you can always spray these and make them whatever color you want. I think I got these from Craft Outlet last year. One second. I think they were like $6 or $7. See how big these are? And then you just put your little 20 gauge wire with your little pins in it, hot glue it down, put felt on it, then you'll be able to pull it through. Now if you use something like this and you painted it, say you spray painted it white or you spray painted it black, that would be all you needed for your center. But I don't have anything spray painted and I want to keep these for use on later. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take, I took the black and white and I made it into the little lollipops. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna start placing these around to where they're touching each other. And that way it's going to cover our center. And then I'll still have enough to where I can put our center, which I'm going to make a white in the middle. So right here, this is 6 of them, and I'm going to place them inside. And once I get that done, I will show you how to make the white rope center that we're going to do, because I want to pull this white out of this black and white so it offsets it a little bit. But you could do a black one. You could take this big one here. You could spray paint it white. You could spray paint it black. You could spray paint it red, whatever color you wanted. So those are a good option too. So I'm going to put these all down, then I'll come back and start showing you what the how to make the rope center, and then we will go from there. Okay, I'm going to show you how I'm going to make our center today. This is a round disc that I purchased from Dollar Tree. I think Mighty Dollar is another company that carries them out here in Jamestown. And any place that Michael's has them, Hobby Lobby's has them, any places you can find them. Like Dollar Tree has them too for $1 in one pack. I would get them there. And then I'm going to use this lid. I told you before that I use lids from like peanut butter jars, or I think this is from like my keto slim fast protein shake that I use, because I put this in the middle to check if that's the size I want. Then I know that when I place it on my styrofoam, that's the size of the styrofoam that I need to cut out in order to make our center. So from here, I take my handy dandy little husband's tool, and since I have my little areas, I just press down. This is like a, I don't know, it's called the painter's 3-in-1 or 4-in-1 tool, but he got it for me and I use it. It helps a lot. And I just go around the edges and I start snipping away at it around the circle. I know it sounds really loud, so I apologize. And I just snip it around, and I'll go all the way around to the side and just go straight on. And I can do it on the cutting wheel, but it's not going to hurt it. Okay, and then all this just gets thrown away. Then from there, I am going to take, bear with me, these I got from Walmart. It's a little squishy side here. And then I'm just going to take it and I'm going to sand it down on the side like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back and show you the end result. Okay, now that I have everything sanded off and it's all nice and rounded up, what I do is I took this decorative trim rope that I bought from Hobby Lobby. It was on $3.99. I got it on sale for $1.99. So what I do is I take my glue gun, I put it in the middle of this and make a hole so I can press the end in the center. And then I just hold it down until it starts taking effect. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue to put glue around the edge. And I will continue to take this rope, and with my little glue finger things, I will continue going around as I'm holding down my rope. And I got glue all over these finger things too. So I'll just keep going down and I'll press it and hold it till it adheres. And then I'll keep going and bringing another bit of glue around. And I'll keep twirling it, pressing it down. And I'll continue doing that until I go all the way around, and then we'll come back and show you what it looks like. Okay, we have put in our 6 of our Lollipop Petals in the center. I have gone ahead and I have finished putting in my white rope. Oh, there's some glue. Pull that around. The white rope around all the disc, and I have put on my felton and my pins in the back to hold down my 20 gauge wire. And I'm also, I put a little flower in the middle. I just thought that was kind of cute because it was red. So, and I think I just got that from like Dollar Tree or something. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in one side, put it in another side, and get underneath here and pull them both through. Pull both through. I'm not going to pull them that tight. I just want to see how it looks right now. Okay. Just wanted to show you guys real quick. This is what I do on the back half of all the flowers. I took some charcoal gray felt and I just put some little zip ties all the way around, zip tied it to the frame. That way it doesn't do any scratching on anyone's door or wall, wherever they hang it. And then I'll also attach my business card to it. So whoever purchases it, they know exactly where it came from. And if they need something else, they can always let me know. So after I do this, I will lay down some cardboard in the garage or outside, and I will take my Rust-Oleum clear mat and I will spray the back, let it dry, flip it over, spray another coat on the front, and I will repeat this twice so that it helps for fraying, and it prevents also from the color fading too fast, especially if it's in a doorway that has the sun that hits it. So this is just one of the other things that you can do in order to make your wreath have a finished look. Different angles, and we have a total of 18 black and white petals on the first row, which is on the second bar. On the third bar, which is our second row, we have a total of 18 red basic petals. Then on, excuse me, let me rephrase that, sorry. 18 on the first row, which is the second bar. Our second row is an alternate of the black and white and the red, which is another 18, 9 of each. Excuse me. And then on the third row, which is 2 inches down into the plastic mesh, we have our red basic petal. Then in the center of that, I put in 6 of the Lollipop Petals with the black and white mesh, and then we took the styrofoam disc and we put the white roping around it. I just added the little flower in the middle. I thought that was kind of cute to go with the red, so it was just a solid white, but you can do whatever you want. So let me see how many total, I'll actually put the total number of petals with everything at the end of this video. So this comes to 23 inches in diameter. I did use a whole roll of the black and white and about 3/4 of the red that I had, because I'd already used some of the red roll. So you're going to need at least 2 rolls of mesh for this, and that was the poly-burlap mesh. So I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you could like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'd appreciate that as well. Also, I have a Southern Yankee Crafty Creations by Lisa, a business Facebook page, along with under Lisa Orton, I have a Facebook group, Southern Yankee Crafty Creations. We all have Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram. I've even started on TikTok in order to promote our businesses, and I would really love if all of us could start following each other and supporting each other, because that's what each crafter should do. And in my eyes, God always wants us to support everybody and everything that they do. So let's get out there and support each other, uplift each other, support each other. I hope you guys like this video. If there's another video that you would like me to do on any other type of petal, please let me know. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I hope you all have a happy Easter, which is tomorrow, Sunday. And everybody have a blessed week. And thank you very much for watching this video. But give me some ideas, because I would love to make something that you guys are, something else you're interested in, let me know. Anybody else who does the floral arrangements, post it on Facebook, in any of the groups that we have. Let's learn from each other. I think that's exactly what we need to do. I will also be putting this wreath on my business Facebook page for sale. So if you're interested, please go there and check it out. And I hope you all have, like I said, a blessed day and a great holiday. And thank you so much again. This is Lisa signing off from Southern Yankee Crafty Creations. Here's our finished product. I think it turned out really, really pretty. We have, it's about 23 inches in diameter, about 3 inches in depth, and it turned out really pretty. I really like it a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as well.